Hi, and welcome to my podcast, the Fertility, Motherhood and Wellness Show. True Stories with Dr. Rajeev. Through this podcast, I will be dealing with issues related to fertility, safe motherhood practices, as well as women's health. Today, we are going to be discussing how to get the maximum out of your first fertility consult. I have always believed that the first consult with a doctor is the most important meeting, both from the doctor as well as the patient's perspective. Let's try and look at the doctor's perspective first. For me, the first consult starts from the time the couple peeps in through the door. Their smile or their nervousness, their body language, their appearance tells me a lot about them. This may not help me make a diagnosis, but helps me design the best possible treatment plan for them, as well as helps me understand what other therapies in terms of counseling, diet consult, or weight loss that they might need. I always ask patients the question that, why are you here to see me? The answer again gives me a lot of insight into their thought process. Some have just come in for a preconception counseling. Some are there because they have tried themselves for some time and are now worried. Some have maybe tried different treatments and have failed and are looking for a new direction. And some, doctor hoppers are just there to compare notes between various doctors. Over the next 15 minutes, I try and understand their medical, social, emotional, and financial status, because each of these factors contribute towards the treatment plan. Infertility isn't a life-threatening condition, and thus there are always multiple ways of going about treatment. And each in its own way is the right thing to do, depending on how you look at it. Coming now to the patient's perspective. Often I find patients coming in unprepared, scared, and very hesitant. Respect for the medical profession is another thing, but being scared of your doctor doesn't help. We are just a set of professionals with specific skills to help you with your problem. But if you don't have a frank and unbiased discussion regarding the issue, quite likely you will need to leave unsatisfied or with a misunderstanding. Thus, I have elaborated 5 key points which one needs to keep in mind when visiting your fertility expert for the first time. And I'm sure if you follow these, you will have the smoothest consult possible. So point number 1, ask yourself, why are you meeting the doctor? A, are you thinking of starting a family and wish to meet the doctor for a preconception counseling? Or B, are you having difficulty conceiving and this is the first doctor you're visiting and you need to know where to start treatment from? And C, have you visited other doctors before and are confused as to which direction to take, and this visit is only another opinion? Or lastly, D, you are very sure of the treatment you want and you are visiting merely to start the treatment as soon as possible. Point number 2, organize your reports. File all your reports date-wise, from the latest reports being on top. If you have had multiple treatments done, then try and create a flow chart of events with dates and treatments as they have been done for you. Every good doctor will go through all the reports, but by organizing everything, it makes an easier and more pleasant consult. There will also be lesser chances of the doctor missing out on an important point or event. Point number 3, be informed. If you are already aware of your problems, then it makes sense to read up a little online about it. If you know what kind of treatment you need to undergo, then look up the same on YouTube as well as Google. There is a very distinct difference between being skeptical and being inquisitive. A doctor will always love a patient who is informed and is asking relevant questions based on what they have read or what they have learned. The problem arises when you doubt everything the doctor says and want to keep checking what he says with Google or other multiple doctors. Point number 4. Google your doctor. Look up online for your doctor. When I say online, it includes a website or general Google search, YouTube, as well as social media like Twitter and Facebook. Not only does it tell you about the positive and negative reviews, but it also gives you an idea about the person and the kind of information he or she has already shared on the net about the disease process, treatment, and the center. Point number 5, which is the last point, Lastly, point number 5, don't hide and don't hold back. Remember, it is this person who will help you on your most important journey. Do not hold back vital information. You can rest assured your doctor will never share it with anyone else. And also, don't be afraid to ask questions. And if there is something you don't understand, stop the doctor right there and request him or her to explain again. This brings me to the end of this podcast. I hope you like it. These are just my beginning stages, and I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. Your comments and suggestions are most welcome. If you get a chance, do look up my website www.drrajeevagarwal.co.in and the associated blog. I also have a YouTube channel in my name. Do email me on fertilitywithoutborders@gmail.com if you have any queries, or if you want me to create a podcast on any topic of your choice. Looking forward to great interactions. Keep listening.